voice of Birmingham and the Black Country.
BBC WM 95.6.
Busy show this morning. Yes, inventions you've made for your pets, please. Vehicles that annoy you. What could be done at night that we do in the daytime? And what would you like to have delivered to you? 03453 009956. We'll talk after the news with Nicole Pullman.
A boy from Pakistan who was shot in an attack on a school by the Taliban is to undergo a 5-hour operation today at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham. Ahmad Nawaz, who's 14, suffered severe wounds to his left arm. His brother died in last December's attack in Peshawar, in which 140 children and adults were shot dead. Fears are growing for the safety of 3 East London schoolgirls who police believe are trying to travel to Syria to join ISIS. The girls, aged 15 and 16, flew to Turkey on Tuesday. Police have issued an urgent appeal for help in finding them, suggesting they're extremely vulnerable. Mussarat Zia from the Muslim Women's Network says if the girls are intending to join ISIS, it may not be what they're expecting.
I don't for one instant think that these people, ISIS and their likes, are going to treat these girls in the right way. They certainly won't be treated in an equitable manner. They won't have rights, they won't be equal to their male counterparts. And I don't think, of course, that they know that at this moment. They're going to be in for a real shock.
A woman has been killed after her car rolled over on the A5 near junction 12 of the M6. It happened in the early hours of this morning. West Midlands Ambulance Service says nothing could be done to save the woman and she was confirmed dead at the scene. David Cameron has announced that £300 million is to be spent researching dementia over the life of the next Parliament. Health service staff, from surgeons to porters, are also to receive special training to ensure patients with dementia get the best possible treatment. George McNamara from the Alzheimer's Society says it's a positive step.
We see every day the strains on our NHS and social services, and I think today's announcement really signals a clear direction, not just from the government but across the political spectrum, that actually we need to continue and redouble our efforts to make our country the best and leading place to get dementia care and support.
Engineers are electrifying the water to stun fish in part of Birmingham's city centre canal this morning. There's a leak in the Gas Street section and the canal needs to be completely drained and the fish removed. James is from MEM Fisheries.
We'll be lowering the water to about knee height, putting a small electrical current in the water. That stops the fish from swimming. That allows us enough time just to net them and safely remove them and put them back the other side of the dams in the watered sections. It's a bit of a grey area, but we're looking certainly at a few hundred at least.
Sunshine and showers today. The showers will be a mixture of rain, sleet, snow or hail. A chilly breeze too, with a top temperature of 6 Celsius, 43 Fahrenheit. A dry, clear night with frost in places and temperatures falling to -2, that's 28 Fahrenheit. BBC WM 95.6 News. There's more online at bbc.co.uk/WM.
The Voice. The Voice.
The voice.
The voice of Birmingham and the Black Country.
You should take in other religions and treat them as you would want to be treated yourself.
We are even more intelligent. They treated me with the utmost respect.
Iain Lee, Saturdays
9 till 12.
BBC WM 95.6.
Shall we have it? I'm feeling the vibe today. There's a vibe. Can you feel it? Or was it just me feeling it? Thank you, Molly. Thank you, Nicole. Lots to talk about this morning. You've made an invention, like a little something. Oh, Ranjit's calling in already. Can I go home? Flipping it, Ranj. Give it a break, mate. Have you invented something to make your animal's life a little bit better? They've made a periscope for a tiny pony. I love tiny ponies. 03453 009956.
Have your say.
Across the West Midlands, call
03453 009956.
BBC WM 95.6.
Does my voice sound tinny, Marky Mark? Do I sound thin and tinny on this microphone? Is there anything we can do to fatten me up? Can we make my voice fat? When I say fat, I mean with a PH, of course. Well, look, don't just tell me to put my chin down to my chest and talk like that. Surely there must be we're the BBC. We must have a computer. We can drag a week's worth of EastEnders live out and then annoy everybody by making the murderer a character we've never heard of. If we can do that, then surely surely we can make my voice sound a little bit less tinny. I don't know, is there not a bass? Have you not got bass knob or something? Speaking of EastEnders, and we won't be, because I hate it. Dear BBC, could you save £100 million, please? Yes, by getting rid of EastEnders. Isn't it rubbish? I know we're one BBC, and we all have to go around high-fiving all of the other programmes, but EastEnders sucks, doesn't it? The front page of The Sun. EastEnders, the big return. It's Gillian Tailforth, a woman I've got a lot of time for. I think Gillian Tailforth is beautiful. I think she's beautiful. She says, Why I Brought Kathy Back from the Dead by Gillian Tailforth. Let me think. Was it for the artistic creation? Or was it for the satisfaction? Oh, it was because they offered you a big fat cheque of cash. A big cardboard charity cheque was waved in your face and you went, OK, I'll do that then, shall I? 03453 009956. I'm in one of those moods today where even if you don't call in, I'm not that bothered. I've got a lot of stuff on my chest and I feel I need to let it go. Let it go, can't hold it back anymore. Pint-sized pony. If you do want to call in about anything at any point, not just the rubbish I'm spouting, 03453 009956. Pint-sized pony needs a periscope to see out. Pedro the Shetland pony is so small he can't even see over his stable door. Building a special miniature stall would cost thousands of pounds, so children at a pony club came up with an ingenious alternative, a periscope. Now pint-sized Pedro can see the bustling stable yard and does not feel so lonely. Letty Porter, funding manager of the Ebony Club in Brixton, South London, said, Pedro spends a lot of time out in the paddock playing, so he has a wonderful life, but we'd love to buy him a new miniature stable with a lower door so he can look out and see what's going on. A miniature stable? While we raised the funds, we thought we'd ask local school children to invent an interim fund solution. We were blown away by their idea. Why don't they just get a door... hello? Why don't they just make a door out of perspex? Darn. What inventions have you made? For your pets, we'll start with pets and then we'll expand it to inventions you've made to make your life easier. When we lived in a flat and I had my cat who was very fat, that rhymes, I had to create some stairs for her to reach the cat flap. The cat flap was really high. So I made a set of stairs out of VHS video cassettes. 03453 009956. Molly, were the phones seem a little quiet. Were they working for you this morning, Molly? You getting phone calls, or were they? You were getting phone calls, were you? Okay, just a bit. I think, mate, did you switch the phones off when you finished your show? Because there's literally nobody's ringing. So I just wondered if you'd switched the phone off during your show, or no, you haven't. Okay, well, this is going to be a tough 2 hours. Hey, this is my 5-year-old boy's favourite song of all time at the moment. What a joy it is to hear him wandering around the house singing this.
Me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, lose my mind. Imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together. No matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together, so happy together. And how is the weather? So happy together, we're happy together. So happy together.
Fair play. There's nothing better in life. You tell me, dear listener, something better in life than a 5-year-old walking around singing that. You can't do it because you're not phoning in. Why are you not phoning in, slackers? You want me to do all the work today? I will do. Begrudgingly. We couldn't get rid of you yesterday. And today... They're all excited because who is it? Is it the Archbishop of Canterbury that's coming up tomorrow? Is that who it is? Is it Arch or Ark? Marky Mark, is it Arch or Ark?
Arch.
You sure?
Arch, definitely Arch.
Is it the Arch? No, Molly can chatter away to Johnny in the background. I mean, it's you don't expect professionalism at this place, do you?
It's just your colleagues saying goodbye to each other.
They're like, can you check the phone line? Have they unplugged the phone line? Have they gone?
I think they've not paid the bill.
Hey, someone's ringing. Oh, it's only Mohammed. Oh, flipping heck. The Archbishop of Canterbury is going to be here tomorrow. Now, we put in a bid to get him interviewed on this show. Why did they turn us down? Why would they turn us down for that, Mohammed?
Hi, let me turn my phone down. My radio.
Turn it down, brother. We're all... Hey, slow on the phones, Mohammed. Is something happening in Birmingham today that I'm unaware of?
No, you know what it is?
Go on, mate.
They're giving you a rest because you're such a sickly bunch now on WM, aren't you?
What do you mean?
You know, I reckon... I was thinking when I was going out this morning, listening...
Yes.
Why don't they rebuild Pebble Mill?
Well, I used to be a big fan of Pebble Mill at one back in the 70s and the 80s.
Because since you moved to that place uptown, like, you know, I think you're all getting very, very sickly. Like
there could be something.
Caroline's always sick.
Caroline's always off sick. Yeah.
Covering for Caroline.
Yeah. I think didn't she have a holiday this week? I think that was booked off. The Pebble Mill building, and I don't know what the policy is of us talking about it. That's before my time. Who was the fella that used to... Because I used to watch Pebble Mill at one on BBC, right? Who was the fella that used to present that? There was like a sort of... I don't think we can say fat anymore, but there was a big fella with thinning ginger hair, I seem to remember.
Oh, I can't remember that.
03453 009956. I know that that's... Oh, I can't remember anybody's name today. The Scottish fella used to present it for a bit.
I mean, I always hear that you're stuck in some room that seems like a basement and you can't see out or anything.
Well, that's the studio. That's well, in this studio I can't see out. If I were in t'other studio that Molly was just in, then you can see out. And bizarrely, you get people looking through the window. Honestly, it's the weirdest. In fact, I can see them now. If I look through the door, I can see them now. And people will press up against the window to see if I am talking or if it is a recording. And then you've got a kind of... Yeah. It's like being a monkey in the zoo, except I'm not playing with myself.
Well, don't you normally go through the papers and find out what's in the... Because I don't buy papers, you see. I don't.
What would you like me to go through the papers, Mohammed?
Yeah, go and see what's in the papers and see if there's anything worth talking about.
Mohammed, keep listening. That's exactly what... That's what I need, Marky Mark. Production.
Mohammed should produce the show.
That's the point I'm making.
I mean, hang on a minute. What am I doing here?
I literally don't know. Apart from you've got your hands on your hips like John Inman.
I think I should go home.
Well, hang on. Let's discuss it during this, shall we? It's the travel. I don't know who's doing it. I'm going to take a punt and say Liz Saul.
Hello, Iain.
Yes.
It's my favourite.
Excellent. As you head to the A51, not looking good. Northbound still shut towards Rugeley because of an accident near to Brook End in the Longdon area. Traffic is looking all right around there. The A34 through Huntingdon, not too bad at the moment at Pottlepool Road. No restrictions in place, but there was an accident late last night involving a lorry. The lorry is yet to be recovered, so there could be some restrictions when they recover the lorries. Apparently it's in quite a precarious position. As you head around the A5 at Gailey, the southbound side has reopened between junction 12, the M6, and Longford Island. They were doing accident investigation work into a crash which happened in the early hours of the morning. That's all been sorted out now. On Birmingham New Road in Dudley, traffic lights are now working as you head around Dudley Road near to the Black Country Living Museum. Now, your match day travel sees Baggies fans off to Sunderland, up one end of the country. The M1 is looking all right as you head over there and going north. There are, of course, roadworks to contend with, 28 to 31 on the M1. Blues fans going all the way to the other end of the country, off to the seaside at Brighton and Hove Albion this afternoon. The M40 clear so far, not too bad on the M25 or the M23. On public transport, still delays between Birmingham New Street and Stansted Airport because of a signalling issue at Ely. If you can update us, call BBC WM 95.6 Travel 0330 123 3550.
You know, we've got a very, very tough 13 games coming up, and we still need to get those points.
This Saturday, we're on the road. Sunderland against West Bromwich Albion, live.
Berahino is onside. Oh, great finish! Sino Berahino!
Join us for team news and all the live action today from 2.
BBC WM 95.6.
OK, so what are we talking about this morning? Well, why is nobody calling? Inventions you've made for your pets, Pebble Mill, and Edwina. Good morning, Edwina.
Hello. I'm just letting you know that we're on an L121 number at home.
Excellent.
And our phone was off all night.
Hey.
And only came on this morning.
Really? What?
I'm in a Wolverhampton number now, and it's working here, but I'm not sure.
So what you're saying is the reason that people might not be calling the show...
There's a problem,
There's
yes.
a problem. Not that the show is rubbish and people have got wise to the fact.
I'm not saying anything about that.
Thank you. What? Hey, Edwina, you still have a landline, do you?
Yes, I do.
And do you? And don't tell me it, but do you know your landline number?
Yes.
And do you know where your landline is all the time?
Yes.
Because I've got a landline, and the only reason I've got it is so that I can have the internet. You need it to have the internet, apparently.
That's right, yes.
But I don't know. I've got no idea what my number is. And the other day when I went to look for the phone, I couldn't find it. The kids had hidden it somewhere.
All right.
So it's kind of, I reckon, in about 10 years' time, with the greatest of respect, when the older generation have died, we won't have landlines anymore.
No. I must admit, I'll use the landline. I prefer that to the mobile, so, you know. But I've got a shop at the moment, and I'm there in Wolverhampton, so that's how I've come to ring you.
I see. You own a shop?
I do, yes.
What kind of shop is it, Edwina?
Baby children's wear.
Baby children?
Yeah.
OK, as opposed to the adult ones?
Baby and children wear.
Baby and children wear. What's the top-selling thing for babies at the moment?
Well, it depends, you know, if it's a new baby or at the moment it's warm clothes, really, whatever, and blankets and things, really.
And I imagine in a couple of months it'll probably, there'll be less warm clothes.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it'll be spring things, isn't it?
Here's a tip, right? Here's a tip for anybody who's having a baby or going to a baby shower. You know those, I can't remember what they call the baby grows, the one-piece things that you get.
Yes.
Never buy them never buy newborns.
No.
Always buy for 3 months old, because they'll only fit into the newborn one for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You want to get them for 3 months old so they grow into it.
That's right.
Top tip.
Right, yes.
Top tip.
It depends what sizes I've got at the time.
Yeah.
Can I just mention the name of my shop then?
Well, of course you can, Edwina.
It's Kiddie Winks.
What?
The Kiddie Winks is the name of the shop.
There we go. That's what I'm talking. Edwina, thank you very much indeed. Kiddie Winks. You see, that is a proper name for a shop, Brian.
Morning, Ian.
Kiddie Winks.
Kiddie Winks. Never heard of it, actually, Ian.
Well, now you have, and it's Edwina's store, and I can't remember where she was, but boy, oh boy, the BBC is now 100% behind Kiddie Winks.
Oh, yes.
Never. Here's the thing. Here's my top tips for people going to baby showers, that awful Americanism where a friend has had a baby and they want free stuff, right?
Yeah.
Don't buy teddies. Don't buy rattles. don't buy clothes for newborns because everybody else will be getting those things. Buy something different. Buy something imaginative.
Something different, yes.
Buy a nice wooden toy for a 6-month-old so they'll grow into it.
That's a good idea, definitely.
Or buy muslins, not Muslims, muslin.
Muslin, that's right.
Muslin. But muslin, I can't say it now. Muslin cloths. Buy loads of them because you need those to wipe the sick off of you. That's a fact.
That's something that's properly needed.
It's proper. Hey, have you ever seen, Brian, the show's starting now, have you ever seen anybody projectile vomit? And I don't just mean this is true. And there's a reason behind this. There is logic. I'm joining the dots in my head, not in the right order, but they're joining. And I don't just mean someone bending over and chucking up. I mean actual projectile vomit.
Never.
It's nuts.
Never.
It's nuts. Go and father a child now because you'll see it. The only time I've ever seen it was with my kids. My eldest, who's now 5, when he was, I don't know, let's say 4 months old. It doesn't really matter. We were downstairs and I was watching television and he was feeling a little bit funny and I gave him some milk and then he started coughing. So I picked him up and he projectile vomited, okay? And that stuff travelled about 3 foot. It was whoom! It was incredible, Brian.
It's enough to make anybody feel funny, I should think.
Well, it made me feel queer. Oh, I should say. Your projectile vomit stories this morning, 03453 009956. We've just woken up, Brian. What have you got for us this morning?
You was asking who presented Pebble Millers 1.
Yes.
Iain.
Yes.
It was Donny McLeod, the fast man, if you
Don
remember.
McLeod. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian, straight in. I'm going to assume that Don McLeod is no longer with us.
I was going to ask you, I don't think you're no longer with us now.
I don't, because he was, and with the greatest of respect, this would have been 81, 82, something like that.
Would be in the early 80s.
He was a big fella.
Yes, and he was Scottish.
He was Scottish. Thinning ginger hair.
That's right.
03453 009956. Mr. McLeod, if you are alive and well and with us, you have our humblest apologies. If anyone knows what happened to him, there was another Scottish fella, Brian, later on, and I know because I met him, right? I was doing a gig with this guy, and all I could say was, "Oh, I remember you from Pebble Mill at 1," and he went, "That was years ago," and I can't remember his name.
I know what you mean, and there was another one, wasn't there, who was with him? Another presenter who was with him.
Yeah, this one had dark hair.
It's been such a long time ago, I can't remember what his name was.
Scottish. He then went on to present, really naff, boring quiz shows. What was his name? I want to say Liam. It wasn't Liam. Right, so Don McLeod. Let's put down Don McLeod. And the phones have just gone mental, which could be Mr...
Was it Shaw Taylor?
Who?
Shaw Taylor.
I thought you said, was it Shaw Tarry?
Shaw Taylor.
Shaw Taylor? No. Oh, no.
He did Police 5, didn't he?
Keep 'em peeled.
Keep 'em peeled.
Shaw Taylor was like the British equivalent of Captain America.
I'm sure he used to be on Pebble Mill.
Do you know what? I think he might have done. Shaw Taylor. Well, there we go. The Shaw Taylor. Yeah, he did Pebble. He did not 5 Star. Police 5. Keep 'em peeled.
That's right.
And then now. Brian, you could stay on all morning. I'm loving talking to you.
Is he still with us?
I think Shaw Taylor is still with us.
Yeah.
And if I'm right, about 10 years ago, and if this is in any way libelling anybody, I retract it immediately. About 10 years ago, it came out that Shaw Taylor was a little bit of a player. While he was doing Police 5, he was keeping all of his eyes peeled, if you know what I mean.
Being an actor.
Sorry?
Being an actor.
What? No. Brian, listen, thank you for that. You've got us going there. Mo's on the line. Good morning, Mo.
Hello, Ian.
Pebble Mill at 1. Say hello to Brian. Brian might still be there.
Hello, who did you say your name was?
Mo. Hello, Brian.
Hello, how are you?
Really well, thank you.
That's very good, very good.
So can I speak to Ian now?
You can, yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, bye-bye.
Bit cold there, Mo. Stay there, Brian.
Well, I don't know how long you're going to keep me on.
Well, that was a bit cold there. Can I speak to Ian? Yeah. All right, bye. Well, but hang on, Brian has told us,
Listen, Ian, I didn't
go on,
up
say
to
it.
speak to a total stranger.
Well, you don't know me, Mo. We're not friends, if that's what you're thinking.
No, we're not friends.
And boy,
right,
oh boy,
we have spoken before,
did
Ian.
I get a letter from a lunatic this week who thinks we're friends? Aye. Anyway, let's not encourage them.
I don't usually make friends with people that want to talk about projectile vomit and
well, I tell you what,
toilets.
why don't you try and make friends with Brian? Over to you and Brian, away you go.
Hello,
Brian.
hello again.
We're being exploited.
Yeah, well, we may be, yes. We may be a little bit, yes.
Do you have a problem with that?
Not really, no. I can't really grumble, really,
Okay.
no.
Well, tell you what,
really.
Brian, I like your name. I don't know you, but I like your name because I've got a brother called Brian.
Oh, did you hear me this morning on the Molly show doing my clarinet impression?
Doing your what impression?
Doing my clarinet impression this morning on the Molly Green show.
No.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, yes.
No.
Yes, I was doing clarinet. I'm known as Brian the Human Clarinet, and I do a clarinet impression with my voice, and it isn't without the aid of a real clarinet. And that's what I was doing this morning on the Molly Green show.
Okay. That sounds interesting. Because a clarinet is an excellent musical instrument.
That's correct, yes.
Right. Can we go back to Ian now? Nice to speak to you, Brian.
Very nice to speak to you as well. What did you say your name was?
Mo.
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 I see. Lovely to speak to you, Mo.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
03453 009956. Who was this Scottish fella, not Don McLeod, that presented Pebble Mill at 1? Anybody? Here we go. Ever embarrassed yourself in front of a pop star? So I was doing a television show like, I don't know, 1 million years ago. And James were the special guest. I know. That's how long ago it was. James. What's the name of the fella from James? Tim Wheeler, Tim Burton, Tim Fry, Tam Fry. No, he's from the Fat People Alliance. Tim Saxondale. Tim Michael.
Hello.
What's the name of the fella from James?
I ain't got a clue.
Oh, I'm thinking of the bloke from the Charlatans. Anyway, he's Tim somebody. He's Tim Lansbury, Tim Lansdowne, Tim Wheeler. Is it Tim Wheeler?
I don't got a clue. It's I know he has some rather interesting haircuts.
The fella. So the fella from the Charlatans is Tim Wheeler, and I think the fella from James is called Tim. Let's say he's called Tim Wheeler. Right?
Okay.
It doesn't really matter what his name is. So Tim Wheeler from James, the lead singer from James, was on a show that I was on, and I was travelling in a lift. I was probably drunk, Michael. And the lift opened, and Tim Wheeler was there from James, the lead singer from James. Don't know if that's his name or not. And I spoke to him through the lift door. He wasn't going to come in. I wasn't going to go out. It was the wrong floor. I was going down. He wanted to go up in more ways than one. And so I was talking to him, and I then went to shake his hand, but the lift door closed on me. Right, the lift door closed, so the lift door closed, and my arm was stuck out. The lift doors hit my arm, and then the doors opened again, and I felt like such a pranny. So the question is, Michael, and I'm hoping the answer is yes, have you ever embarrassed yourself in front of Tim Wheeler from James or any other pop star?
No.
OK, what have you called in for, Michael?
You know the guy who used to present Pebble Mill?
Yes.
Paul Coyer.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Coyer. You've just said that. Louise has just said that on Twitter. Paul Coyer.
Yeah, he's married to the other presenter, Debbie. Well, he used to be. I don't know.
Debbie Greenwood.
Yeah.
Debbie.
They used to present a late night, but it's about 20 years ago on Radio 2.
Yes. Aye. This one's going out to Debbie Greenwood, and while we're at it, Jet from the Gladiators.
Yeah.
Boom. Aye. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Coyer, and excuse me, Paul, but yes, both Michael and I are getting a little bit mucky over your missus. Hang on a minute, stay there, Michael. Dave?
Hello.
You want to talk about Pebble Mill as well, do you?
Yeah, I remember another presenter around at the same time as Bob Langley with Donny McLeod.
Hang on, we've got Don McLeod, Bob Langley.
Bob Langley.
Did he have like a very long, thin, grey face?
Yes, he was a tallish, dark-haired fellow.
Bob Langley. Yeah, this is great. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to find out how many of these people are still alive, and then we are going to reunite them.
And another one I can think of is Judy Spires.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Again, this music suits Judy, doesn't she? Little bit mumsy, but then I'm a little bit dadsy these days.
Yeah, all right.
Bob Langley. That's exact. Bob Langley. I've just Googled him. Oh man, alive. Is Bob Langley is still alive?
Is he? Oh,
he's 75 years old.
Yeah.
He was a proper old-fashioned BBC presenter, Bob Langley.
You know, I remember going to a recording of Pop Back.
Oh yeah.
During that era.
Yeah.
And we had to walk through the foyer where Pebble Mill at one was televised from, and it just seemed so small. But the TV cameras made it look so long.
Television studios are always smaller. That if they get a guest like Prince or something, he looks normal size. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Oh, but before you go, quick game. Michael, we'll start with you.
Yeah.
Do you know what Paul Coyer's middle name is?
I know a clue.
OK, Dave, any ideas?
No idea.
I've just seen it. It's a fun one. Don't Google it, guys, otherwise you can't be in line for the £1 million prize cash draw. 03453 009956. Christine, do you know Paul Coyer's middle name?
Sorry, I don't.
Oh. Ever embarrassed yourself in front of Tim Wheeler, the lead singer of James?
Sorry about that.
Oh, dear. OK, well, that's... ever embarrassed yourself in front of another pop star, PJ Proby or something?
No, I haven't.
Was PJ Proby... Was he the one who was the one whose trousers split? Was it him or Frankie Vaughan?
I would have said it's PJ rather than Frankie Vaughan.
Yeah,
Frankie Vaughan was marvellous as well.
Because Frankie Vaughan was very suave, wasn't he?
very marvellous.
He was very marvellous. And PJ Proby, if I remember, was kind of a little bit... he was a bit mucky, wasn't he? Yeah. No,
Good though, everybody seems to like him. That's
and they're still... Do you know what? I think they're still out and about performing.
Yes.
Good for them.
Absolutely.
You do wonder, don't you, whether Zayn Malik from One Direction or Justin Bieber will be performing in another 50, 60 years' time.
That's right.
Christine, what have you got for us?
I wanted to... Pardon me?
What? Did you burp?
Sorry.
That's okay, don't worry, it happens to all of us. What would you like to say?
I was listening to this lady from Wolverhampton on children's wear, Kiddywinks.
Oh, yeah,
You
Kiddywinks.
didn't leave her her phone number because I'd like to know where she is because they're very, very rare, these shops.
It was Edwina. She was such a pain in the backside. We're doing our best not to get Edwina back on again.
Oh, dear.
Oh, hang on a minute. Edwina, are you there?
Yes, I am, thank
Charming.
you.
What a shame.
Oh, I say. Edwina, we're not really allowed to do this because we're the BBC, but I don't think any of the bosses are listening.
Right.
Edwina,
Yes.
give us the details for Kiddywinks.
All right, I will. I'm on the Cannock Road.
Yes.
Going towards, from Wolverhampton towards Cannock, and the area's called the Scotlands.
The area's called the Scotlands.
And I'm right by the big island. I'm only a small shop, but I think you'll find most things here.
Marvellous. Have you got a phone number,
I have, yes.
please?
It's 01...
Well, hang on a minute, Edwina.
Yes?
This isn't your home phone number that
No, it isn't.
Okay, I've got to go to producer. Are we allowed to give out phone numbers, producer Mark?
Well, I don't see who's going to stop us, to be honest.
Well,
I mean, it's you and me, so...
Have you got your computer open in case the bosses want to send you a stroppy message?
Well, they've got 30 seconds.
Go, quick, squeeze it in before the boss gets in touch, or squeeze it out.
Okay.
Lovely.
01902
902
865
865
220.
220. Edwina, that's lovely.
Christine,
darling.
before you go, your payment, the price of this information is.
Can you hear this on there?
Yeah, yes, Edwina, we can hear you. We're talking to us.
Oh, she's very, very helpful.
Well, hang on a minute.
01902 865 220.
Are you, Christine? Do you work for Kiddywinks? And this is like some plan you've got?
No, I don't work for Kiddywinks. I'm over Hales Owen, and she's over Cannock, isn't she?
Christine, what is Paul Coyer's middle name?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Thanks for playing. Edwina, what is Paul Coyer's middle name?
I don't even know who he is. I'm a Cliff Richard fan.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Penn, Pensnet,
Rugeley, Redditch,
Rowley Regis. Have your say across the West Midlands.
BBC WM 95.6.
So, we're 40 minutes in and we haven't really done anything. We've discussed Pebble Mill, we've discussed projectile vomiting, and we've discussed inventions for pets. 03453 009956. I don't know who this is from. If you're going to send a text, put your name on. This is anonymous. Hey, you're on Coco the Clown Has Nothing on You. Cynical left-wing pillock with such amateur delivery. Priceless. Did you write this, Mark? Hey, there's a great story in the papers here. I love this story. Where is it? It's hard to impress at a job interview, especially when the applicant has just told the boss to go flip himself. We allow that? Recruitment chief Matt Buckland... This is so good. Recruitment chief Matt Buckland was on a tube train when a man gave him the abuse and shoved him. The rudeness backfired that day when the culprit tried to secure a web developer job as Matt was the boss conducting the interview. You've got to love that, haven't you? The blunder went viral after Matt tweeted karma. The guy who pushed me on the tube and then suggested I go flip myself just arrived for his interview with me. The man who swore at Matt at Monument Station in the Underground in central London did not get the job at the nearby firm. How beautiful is that? I don't buy that karma stuff. I buy Karma Chameleon every week on 7-inch from Our Price Records. I don't buy that karma stuff. But how sweet is that? Because you get on the train or the tube if you're in London. Or, hey, other cities have the tube. Did you know this? Did you know this, Marky Mark? Other cities have the tube. Well, can we name... Birmingham has it? Birmingham, I think it was... Anyway, I think Manchester's got an underground system. And one of the Scotch towns has got one. Is it Glasgow? Hasn't Glasgow got the Clockwork Orange, they call it? Or is it Edinburgh? No, it's not Edinburgh. 03453 009956. But how cool is that, Carl? Someone F's at you, pushes past you, and then 3 hours later, they turn up and they're asking you for a job. Carl.
Hello.
How impressive is that, Carl? Someone F's at you, pushes past you, then 3 hours later, they turn up asking you for a job. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, Carl, how impressive is that, right? Someone F's at you, pushes past you,
Yeah.
then 3 hours later, they turn up asking you for a job.
Well, I wouldn't get one.
Sorry?
I wouldn't get one.
Well, they didn't get one.
No.
No. What are the other places in the United Kingdom that have got an underground train system?
God, I don't know.
OK, Carl. Well, this is... thanks for giving us a call. What would you like to say, Carl?
Well, the lad who phoned me said I was to talk about my cat.
Right.
Well, my cat, I've got a cat, and you were saying what you did. I like put some boxes together so I could get onto the bed because it's 18.
You say that... Hang on a minute. It's confusing. It's a good story and I want to get this. Say that again, Carl. You did what?
I put some shoe boxes together so that I could get onto my bed.
Aye. Were the cats were 18 years old, were they?
Just the one, Reba.
Because my cat is going to be 16 next month, and they do start to get a little bit scrawny, and it's just that little bit harder for them to climb up, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh.
Their bounds and not so good, so
No.
it's a bit dodgy.
How is your cat still with us, Carl?
Yes, and also this is weird. You know a treadmill.
A treadmill, yes.
Yes. It sleeps on a treadmill, like on top of the Radio Times. It loves the Radio Times.
Don't we all?
I have to put a few Radio Times on top of the treadmill.
Yes. Would they sleep on the TV Times or Chat magazine?
Well, no, it's got to be the Radio Times.
Got to be the Radio Times. How discerning of those guys.
Yes.
And how old are your cats now, Carl?
How old am I?
No.
All the cats 18. I've only got Reba.
OK. Well, I wish you a long and successful life with Reba.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Carl. 03453 009956. Aid says on Twitter, any chance of reading out Brian the Human Clarinet's phone number on the air? No. And John says, well, tell you what we could do, Pebble Mill memories. Pebble Mill at 1. My sisters took me when I was about 5, and oh, this is great. This is two topics in one. Pebble Mill and never been embarrassed by a pop star. My sisters took me when I was about 5, and Arthur Askey told me to shut up on the telly. 03453 009956. Pebble Mill. And ever been embarrassed in front of a pop star? One of the Beach Boys. I love the Beach Boys. My love for the Beach Boys is pretty much unending, right? One of the Beach Boys was well rude to me. Rude to me at an airport at LAX. That stands for Los Angeles Airport. I don't know what the X stands for. And I saw a Beach Boy. It was only Al Jardine. Beach Boys fans, you know what I mean when I say it's only Al Jardine, but still my heart was going, there's a Beach Boy. It's a real-life Beach Boy. And I got all excited, and I really had to sum up... I never go up to people like that. I had to sum up the courage. I went for a wee and everything, washed my hands, summed up the courage to go up to Al Jardine and speak to him. And he was going down an escalator, and I was behind him, and I went, excuse me, Mr. Jardine. And he did this, right? He thought I couldn't see. He had his back to me, but I could see his face, and he went... He lowered his head and yeah, what do you want? And I was crushed. He crushed me. I was Al Jardined is what I call it now when a celebrity is rude to you. Ever had a celebrity be rude to you? 03453 009956. Let's get the travel news now. Here's Liz.
Thanks, Ian. As you head to the A51 at Longdon, the northbound side, the Rugeley-bound carriageway is still shut because of an accident near to Brook End. Southbound is open, but there is a little bit of traffic in the area. It's not looking too bad on the M6 at the moment, although traffic's quite heavy on the M42, both ways around Junction 6. So from Junction 7 heading south, north from Junction 5 towards 6. It's all because of an event going on at the NEC, the caravan and camping event, so a lot of traffic heading towards there. Busy on Hagley Road inbound into Birmingham towards Five Ways Island. We are getting reports of an accident on Teddersley Road near Marsh Lane in Penkridge. Police tell us they are on the way to the scene. Your match day travel, you might want to get a bit of a wriggle on, but Baggies fans off to Sunderland for this afternoon's match. At the A42 M1, no delays reported. And getting onto the A1M, Blues fans going in completely the opposite direction to Brighton and Hove Albion for this afternoon's game at the Seaside. The M40 is looking all right. Bit of patchy traffic on the M25 round to the M23 passing Heathrow Airport. And on public transport, there's possible delays still between Birmingham New Street and Stansted Airport because of an ongoing signalling issue at Ely. If you can update us, call BBC WM 95.6 Travel 0330 123 3550.
Do you like good music?
The Soul and Motown Show with Jenny Wilkes is back.
And this week, to get you dancing around the kitchen, there's The Temptations. Dobie Gray.
Out on the floor tonight, I feel like singing.
And Shirley Ellis. The Soul and Motown Show, this Sunday from 1 on BBC WM 95.6.
Martin, stay there. We shall talk all things Kylie in a second. But here's the original Kylie Minogue. It's Mama Cass.
Once I believed that when love came to me, it would come with rockets, bells, and poetry. But with me and you, it just started quietly and grew. And believe it or not, now there's something groovy and good about whatever we got. And it's getting better, growing stronger, warm and wilder, getting better every day, better every day. I don't feel all turned on and starry-eyed. I just feel a sweet contentment deep inside. Holding you at night just seems kind of natural and right. And it's not hard to see that it isn't half of what it's gonna turn out to be. 'Cause it's getting better, growing stronger, warm and wilder, getting better every day, better every day. And I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting, 'cause no matter how long it takes, the two of us know that it's getting better, growing stronger, warm and wilder, getting better every day, better every day.
Come on. It's Mama Cass. It's Mama Cass, Martin.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Martin. What have you called in about? Is it projectile vomiting? Is it pop stars? What is it?
It's a bit of pop stars.
Go for it, fella. What have you got?
Okay. True story, 2000. I was waiting in the departure lounge at Dublin Airport, trying to get a flight back to Brum.
Yeah.
And in strolls Kylie Minogue.
Whoa! How did you spot her? Because she's so tiny.
Yeah, well, she was surrounded by bodyguards, and there was a bit of a kerfuffle going on.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a blockage of people.
There
And
would
I
be.
thought, this is my only chance, my one and only chance. So I stood up, stuck my head between two shoulders of these bodyguards.
I wonder where that was going. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And said, "Hi, Kylie. My name's Martin. Would you like a drink in the bar?"
Hey, go on. What did she say? Tell me she said yes, and you're now married to her.
No. She smiled and said, "Thank you very much, but I'm in a rush," and off she went.
Right, okay. Well, Martin, you've taken this to the next level. Have you ever asked a pop star out? 03453 009956. Fair play. That's so much better than the going up and asking for a selfie or doing what I did to one of the Beach Boys. Oh, I'm a really big fan. Thanks for the music. That's something that'll stick with her.
It certainly stuck with me. Probably stuck with her for about 5 seconds.
There is. She's in the Daily Mirror today, page 9, if you want to see her in her pants. And I like Kylie, right? I do wish she'd keep her clothes on a bit more, though.
Oh, please.
It's her in her pants, and they are wonderful, wonderful pants. But I'm getting old, Martin. I wish these pop singers wouldn't disrobe quite so freely.
But with all due respect, she does have one of the best bottoms in scientific history.
Yes, Martin, thank you. In scientific history, yes. Since the recordings of bottoms started, Kylie's is certainly one of the best. Do you know what I mean, though, dear listener? It's like Rihanna. There was a picture of Rihanna in the papers Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday. And I was thinking, there's something odd about this photo. Oh, yeah, she's got all of her clothes on. Pop-Tarts used to be things you'd put in the toaster and have for breakfast, and now they're on the front page of newspapers. Am I getting old? I think I am getting a little bit old. But they've got to put some clothes on. I mean, Miley Cyrus, if she was to do anything more revealing, she'd have to have a camera inside her. 03453 009956. Pop princess Kylie Minogue gives the neighbours a thrill as she strips for a Hollywood Photoshop in front of an open window. Photo shoot. The 46-year-old even posted the saucy snap to her Instagram followers with the message, "Sneak peek behind the scenes." Ever asked a pop star out? Ever embarrassed yourself in front of a pop star? Ever had a pop star be rude to you? 03453 009956. You can send me a text. 81333. Start your text, WM.
The voice of Birmingham in the Black Country.
BBC WM
95.6.
Simon's in West Brom. Good morning, Simon.
Good morning. I'm in King Swinford.
It says West Brom on my screen, Simon. So
I was working yesterday, mate. Well, I live in King Swinford.
Okay, I'm gonna have to say West Brom, Simon, as that's what it says on the screen.
Oh dear. You must say Sandwell Town. Okay.
Simon. So let's go to Simon in West Brom. Good afternoon, Simon. Morning. Hang on. Good morning, Simon.
Yeah. Good morning.
Thanks for calling.
You're welcome.
What would you like to say, boss?
I was just ringing up about Kylie. I met her once.
I don't know. I'm laughing like an old pervert, but yes.
Well, it was...
Simon, turn your radio off, you plum.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
I met her once, mate.
Yeah, go on, what happened?
What it was a local radio station did a competition for tickets to go and see her.
Well, it wasn't us. We don't do competition, Simon.
No. It was a commercial radio.
Well,
I'm going back a long time now, about 15 years or so.
Okay, and I hope that commercial radio station has closed down.
I think it's changed names, I'm sure.
Is it Heart?
No.
Is it?
I don't listen to it
free?
anymore anyway.
Is it free?
Is it free? It might be called free now. I don't know.
Those losers. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. I know where they are. And let's just say,
Wolverhampton-based station.
Let's just say, Simon, after the show, you're all invited to meet me in the car park. We will drive there and we will put poo through their letterbox.
I don't listen to them anymore.
Good.
Anyway.
Losers. Go on. What you got?
Right. Anyway, yeah. So they're saying, right, they basically put it out there and say, what would you do to get these pair of tickets to go and see Kylie? You know. Yeah. So I rang up. I'd say I'd wear my Mrs. Albion shirt to a Wolves game and rang up a couple of things about this, that and the other.
Yeah,
in the end, I rang them and I says, I'll do whatever you can come up with. So they come up with this harebrained idea. They says, right, we'll pick you up at work. We want you to do a naked cycle ride from where you work to Merry Hill Centre. And this was live on there, and I just went, yeah, OK.
Did you text me this last week?
Possibly.
Yeah, you're desperate to talk about your bare bottom. Did you do it?
Yeah, of course I did it, mate, yeah.
Did you not
From
get...
Rye,
Did you not
from
get...
Rye to Merry Hill.
Did you not get saddle sore?
No, it's a decent day, to be honest.
Oh, good. And so, and you got to see Kylie, but did you get to talk to her?
Yeah, we got to meet her at the backstage afterwards, yeah.
Well, again, did your bottom make a sore?
Well, she got to hear what I did for the tickets. I didn't tell the missus, but my next door neighbour printed some of the photos off the radio station's website and showed her. So she didn't talk to me for 3 months, and I ended up going with a friend to the concert and not her.
Oh, thank you. So, the topics just keep pouring forth. What have you done to meet a pop star? Ever asked a pop star out? Ever embarrassed yourself in front of a pop star? Has a pop star ever been rude to you? And have you ever been let down by someone at the last minute before a concert? 03453 009956. We've gone from Don McLeod to Paul Coyer to Kylie Minogue to Jenny in Hall Green. Morning, Jenny.
Morning.
What you got for us, Jen?
I trod on Gary Newman's toe.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm tempted to leave the story there, but I shan't. Go on.
Yeah, I was about 14, I think. He was coming out of Central Studios.
Yeah.
The group of us there waiting to meet him.
Gary Newman.
And then I think it was Jeremy Beadle came out and said, he's gone round the front.
Jeremy Beadle?
Yeah. What? Jeremy Beadle.
The prankster?
Yeah, him. Yeah, he came out of Central Studios.
What was Jeremy Beadle doing with Gary Newman?
No, he was just in the Central Studios.
Oh, OK. All right. OK, yeah.
He came out and said to everyone, yeah, he's gone out. He's gone round the front. So everybody at the front of the crowd went, and we were suddenly just left there as Gary Newman came walking out. So I'm having to walk backwards with him right in front of me, hair plugs and all.
Yeah.
And I trod on his foot, and he sort of snarled at me and went, ow.
My friends are electric. I knew I should have driven in my cars. You say hair plugs. Surely it's a piece, isn't it?
No, at the time it was proper like doll's hair.
Right, yeah, because I've worked with Gary, and he's a very nice fella, but don't go near his feet or his hair, particularly if he's got it in the box. Jenny, thank you very much indeed. 03453 009956. You remind me, the same job I worked on with Gary Newman. I worked with the lead singer from AC/DC. Is it Brian Johnston? He's a miserable so-and-so. I'm interviewing Brian Johnston, the lead singer from AC/DC, on a live TV show, right? And he's a nice fella. We're having a little bit of banter. We're getting on. And I'm generally pretty good at judging the mood. Very rarely do I get the mood wrong of how far I can push it with a civilian or a celebrity. And we're getting on well, me and Brian. And at the end of it, I said, Brian, before you go, one final question. What's the greatest rock and roll band in the world? AC/DC Lake. I said, no, you're wrong. It's Kiss. Anyway, coming up next, the look of thunder on that old Geordie man's face who's lucky to have a job. He walked off the show. It was a week-long series. He threatened to walk off the entire series. I had to go round to his luxury trailer, knock on his door, and humbly doff my cap to one of the luckiest men in show business and apologise to him for daring to offend him by making a joke about the rock group Kiss. Can you believe it? That's the door. 03453 009956. Iain, oh, God, we've got an angry text here. Simon says, Iain, I thought you were going to do a bit on the most annoying vehicles on the road today. I was looking forward to hear what folk had to say. Well, the thing about this show is, Simon, I throw these things out and sometimes people bite, sometimes they don't. Maybe I need to stun you all like we're doing with the fish around the corner. If you want to call in with annoying vehicles, you're more than welcome to. 03453 009956 81333. Start your text WM. Get the chewing gum out. Focus. Pay attention. Another hour of this nonsense. Ever upset a pop star? Let's hear your stories, please.
The voice of Birmingham and the Black Country.
BBC WM 95.6.
Bang on 11 o'clock. Let's get the news now. Here's Nicole Pullman.
Surgeons at Birmingham's Queen Elizabeth Hospital are to carry out a 5-hour operation today on a boy from Pakistan who was shot by the Taliban. Ahmad Nawaz, who's 14, was seriously injured when gunmen stormed his school in Peshawar in December. They killed 140 adults and children, including his brother. The MP for Bethnal Green in East London has spoken of the community's shock and concern for 3 local teenage girls thought to be travelling to Syria to join ISIS militants. The girls, aged 15 and 16, flew to Turkey on Tuesday after lying to their parents about where they were going. Police are urgently trying to contact them before they cross the border into Syria. Rushanara Ali said more needs to be done to stop young people being radicalised via social media.
This is like grooming. This is child exploitation. And in the worst case scenario, they're potentially being used as weapons of war in those countries through the auspices of giving them a different impression. And we need to step up our action to do the prevention work. That's the hard graft in our society that we all need to do.
A skyscraper in Dubai, which is one of the world's tallest residential buildings, had to be evacuated after part of it caught fire. The fire was first spotted on the 50th floor of the Torch Tower, which is 1,100 feet tall. No one was injured. Andrew Jones from West Bromwich now lives in Dubai. He told us conditions in the city at the moment didn't help.
This has occurred during one of the worst sunstorms in living memory. And so visibility is pretty poor. And I think, in fact, that's one of the issues that the experienced with the fire. It's crazy here. The sandstorms really made things a lot worse, I think.
A woman has been killed after her car rolled over on the A5 near Junction 12 of the M6 at Wolverhampton. It happened in the early hours of this morning. West Midlands Ambulance Service says nothing could be done to save the woman, and she was confirmed dead at the scene. Fish stunned by an electricity current are being taken out of a section of canal in Birmingham city centre. The section is near Gas Street. It's sprung a leak and the canal has to be drained to fix it. James is part of the team from MEM Fisheries, which is moving the fish to another part of the canal.
It doesn't kill them whatsoever, and they'll slowly rise to the surface, allowing us enough time just to safety net them and get them in the bins that we'll have on the boat and then back over the other side of the dams. To be putting a small current in the water, so that will give us about a metre radius, so we'll be using hand nets and then putting them in bins and putting them back.
Sunshine and showers today. The showers will be a mixture of snow, rain, sleet or hail. A chilly breeze too, and an afternoon top temperature of 6 Celsius, 43 Fahrenheit. A dry, clear night with frost in places. Cold though, temperatures down to -2 Celsius tonight, 28 Fahrenheit. BBC WM 95.6 News. There's more online at bbc.co.uk/WM.
The Voice. The Voice. The Voice. The Voice of Birmingham and the Black Country.
You should take in other religions and treat them as you would want to be treated yourself.
We are even more intelligent. They treated me with the utmost respect.
Iain Lee, Saturdays
9 till 12.
BBC WM 95.6.
It's one. Thank you, Nicole. It's one of those shows today where it's all a little bit, even more random on the veranda than usual. Vehicles that annoy you. Pebble Mill at 1. Paul Coyer. Does anybody know Paul Coyer's middle name? It's a good middle name.
This is like grooming. This is...
And it's not that. Good guess. It's not that. 03453 009956. Ever ask Kylie Minogue or any other pop star? Oh, just your pop star stories in general.
Have your say.
Across the West Midlands, call
03453 009956.
BBC WM 95.6.
I tell you what, you speak of your pop stars and your Justin Biebers. There's nobody that lives up to the Gambler. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Kenny Rogers himself.
On a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns of staring out the window at the darkness till boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. He said, "Son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces and knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind my saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey,
I'll give you some advice. So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light. And the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, if you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away, knowing what to keep. 'Cause every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser, and the best that you can hope for is to die in your sleep. And when he finished speaking, he turned back toward the window, crushed out his cigarette, faded off to sleep. And somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. But in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. You got to know when to hold up, when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the deal is done.
Come on. Here's a challenge. Here's a challenge for you. You don't get songs these days. You don't get songs these days, as far as I'm concerned. But you don't get songs these days that tell stories. Lucille by Kenny Rogers and that one by Kenny Rogers. They tell a story. The House of the Rising Sun tells a story. Who? I'll be honest, Marky Mark, the more I'm finding out about you and your taste in music, the more I'm going off you. You've already told me that you love James and that their last album was good. I can't believe that for a second.
And it was great, so there.
And who?
Richard Marx Hazard tells a story.
What story does it tell?
I can't remember.
Thank you very much indeed. 03453 009956. Stories, songs with stories in. Stories with songs in. I don't care. Once when I was on my way to a footy match at St Andrews, says an anonymous texter, without realising I knocked Jasper Carrot over. I only found out later when I was with people who said who it was. You knocked him over? You knocked him over? 03453 009956. We've managed to avoid EastEnders pretty much on this show, which is good, because EastEnders is rubbish. But you know what the bit is? It tonight? Is the Oscars tonight? Is it happening tonight? Who gives a stuff about the Oscars? It's in a lot of the papers. Hollywood goes Oscar wild. Oh, says the excuse me, Windy Pops says the Sun. Page 36 and 37. Sitting in a celebrity hotspot on my first night in LA, I spotted an unexpected guest crossing the floor. A cockroach. What? Stop trying to be artsy-fartsy, Emma Brankin, showbiz reporter in Los Angeles. Listen, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time there, but nobody is interested in what actually happens at the Oscars, apart from the actors themselves. Am I right, Kev? Boring.
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 Boring. There's too many Kevs there. I thought you meant producer Kev.
Boring.
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 With a capital B.
The Oscars are boring.
Well, they never give it to the right ones, really. They do. Not ever.
Well,
but
they give
there's
it.
sometimes,
They give it to the actors, which is probably. Have you ever been to Los Angeles, Kev?
Loads of times. I've been to American Music Awards at the same.
Have you?
Yeah.
The AMAs, the Shola Amas. You've been there?
Oh yes, and do you know what Stevie Wonder said to me?
Oh God.
I met Stevie Wonder there. You know what he said to me?
Am I going to have to cut you off?
No, I wouldn't be cut off from this station.
Okay, go on.
Who are you? I thought, what a bloke.
Did he really speak to you?
Yes, and he felt my face as well.
No, he did not.
He did.
Kev, that is a lie.
Can I feel your face? Yes, you can, Steve.
No, that is... Stevie Wonder doesn't go around feeling random people's faces.
Well, I was working there, and I was working for a guy there on that show and running to him, and, I'm from Birmingham, and I meet Stevie Wonder. I'm going to carry on. Feel away, mate.
Swear on your mother's life that Stevie
Wonder...
Wonder...
my mum's everybody, all me for everybody. The whole lot. I even met Prince that night as well at that.
What were you doing at the Shola Amas?
I used to be in the music business. We call them technicians. I was a guitar technician. And on that show was Alice Cooper. There's the reason they phoned you up.
Well, hang on a minute. We'll get to Alice in a second, who I'm a big fan of. Who were you guitar teching for then?
You name it. I was guitar teching for Alice Cooper's band, and I was guitar tech for every guitar player, every bass player, every keyboard player that he had from 1987 to 1998.
Okay. Who's the most famous person what you done ever meet?
Oh wow, that's awkward. That is, because I'd have to say the Coop.
Well, tell us the Coop story.
But there's a few, just as big as him that I've met, and it's like you're in that radio stations and you meet people and you kind of...
We meet so many big stars. The Archbishop of Canterbury is coming in tomorrow. Have you ever guitar teched for him?
No, but there's probably three people that I wish I had. One would be Dave Gilmour, the other one would be Eric Clapton. Hey. And I met Eric Clapton. I met Eric Clapton walking through Chicago Airport.
Ever met a Beatle?
Yes, I've worked for a Beatle.
Which one?
George.
Yes, my favourite Beatle! Oh, brother! Kev, really?
Yes.
Oh, man alive, the rest of the show is cancelled. It's just me and Kev rolling up a fat one and chewing it. When, where, why, what, how?
Well, that was a good... NEC, Birmingham. A few years ago, there was a concert called... There's a Heart concert. It was a charity concert, and everybody was on it. Robert Plant, the whole bunch of people, and Jeff Lynne was on it, and Slade. There was all sorts of people. This was a great day, and I was asked. I was phoned in the morning. Could I go out? And all I had to do all day was take care of Jeff Lynne's gold top guitar, restring it, because his guitar tech, his name escapes me. He was playing rugby and broken his fingers or something. So obviously couldn't restring guitars and things. So I said, fine, I'll go out.
Go on then, faster.
All that. String him up. Just before he goes on, I go in the dressing room and said, Jeff, where do you want your guitar? Do you want it in here or on stage, mate? And he's doing his hair in the mirror. He said, I'll leave it in here, Batty. It's all right. Can you get a guitar for him? And he pointed behind me. I turned around, sat behind the door.
Oh, no.
There's George. Now, you know what it's like. You don't do this. You don't get starstruck.
No.
I looked at him, looked back at you, and I went, he's a Beatle. You're a Beatle. He said, well, I used to be, mate, but yeah, you're right. I said,
he was Pakistani, was he?
He was from Wales, yeah.
Right, yeah.
And what would you like, George? He said, I'd love a Scotch and Coke to begin with. I said, there you go. Set him up with that. What do you want? He said, as long as it's got 6 strings and it's almost in tune, that'll do for me, chap. And he went off and did his thing with Jeff. He came off and said to Jeff, your guys are great, Jeff. This guy's... I ended up having a beer with him and Jeff Lynne. at the bar in the cinema that was at
Kev,
the
stay there, because I know you've called in about Alice Cooper, so we will get to the Alice Cooper story. I want to give you a fair crack of the whip, and I've got some business to do. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, if you've ever met a beetle, ever met a beetle? 03453 009956. Keith, stay there. Kev, don't go anywhere. Let's get the travel news. Here's Liz.
Thanks, Ian. As you head to the A51 towards Rugeley, northbound is still shut at Longdon near to Brookend because of an accident. The M42 remains very congested, particularly northbound between 5 and 6, Solihull to the NEC, and as you head around to Birmingham Airport. But there is an event going on at the NEC, so that's why it's looking very congested. South on the M6 is heavy going between 10 and 8, Wolverhampton and Walsall to the M5 interchange, not helped by roadworks in the area. Problems in Wolverhampton. New Hampton Road West is blocked in both directions. A 6-car accident there between the A41 and Clifford Street, causing delays. Reportedly, this accident in Penkridge as well, still near on Teddesley Road near to Marsh Lane, causing a bit of congestion. Still possible delays on cross-country services between Birmingham New Street and Stansted Airport because of an ongoing signalling issue at Ely. If you can update us, call BBC WM 95.6 Travel 0330 123 3550.
Late Night, Graham Torrington. Every Sunday, I play the world's biggest love songs. To dedicate a song to the love of your life, email gt@bbc.co.uk. Late Night, Graham Torrington. Sunday love songs. The perfect way to relax. Sunday night from 10 on BBC WM 95.6.
We're speaking to Kev. He's worked with the Beatle, but he's also worked with Alice Cooper. Give us your Cooper story, Kev.
Coop, yeah, you want about people that you've met and pop stars. I used to fight him every night for about 11 years on stage, and he always used to kick me bum and win as well.
What do you mean, fight him?
Yeah, have a fight with him on stage. There's a part of his show, a song called The Cats versus the Jets.
Yeah.
A bit West Side Stories type thing. And we're me and like 3 or 4 of the crew, we're the Gutter Cats. We're like dressed up in leather jackets and cut off gloves and false knives and plastic and right rowdy bunch of street boys. And we walk on stage and, well, take on Coop and the band.
What year was this, Kev? What years?
Blimey, from 87 onwards.
Oh, okay.
He still does it, I believe, in some of his shows. They've got the Cats versus
Have you got on your phone? Have you got Alice Cooper's phone number?
I used to have it on my phone. I don't know. He changes it quite a lot because people find it.
Because you keep bothering him.
Keep bothering him, yeah.
Kev, can you give me a call next week?
I can. Hey, I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
If you want to hear some more of them there stories, how about this for a coincidence? Tonight at 2:00 this morning, our time, I'm on the Classic Metal Show, which is a radio station in Chicago.
Yeah.
And they've got a thing called Road Crew Roundup, and there's going to be me and a bunch of other guys from Alice Cooper, and we're going to be able to chat. And I haven't seen them for a few years, and I'm going to be first on at 2:00 this morning.
Kev, right, listen, have you got my email address? ian.lee@bbc.co.uk.
Yeah.
IAIN.LEE. Send us an email. I want to have a chat. I want to have a proper chat with you off air.
You can't listen. You got my number there now, haven't you?
Yeah. I'll get it, Kev. We'll sort something out. We'll go out for a coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, give us a ring anytime.
Thank you, mate.
No problem.
Ta-ta. Keith, stay there. I've got to do this now.
Give me plenty of that guitar.
Got to have a bit of George Harrison, haven't we?
I've been traveling on a boat, in a plane, in a car, on a bike, with a bus, on a train. Traveling there, traveling here, everywhere, in every gear. But oh Lord, we pay the price with the spin of a wheel, with the roll of the dice. Ah yeah, you pay your fare, and if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. I've been traveling through the dirt and the grime, from the past to the future, through the space and the time. Traveling deep beneath the waves, in watery grottos and mountainous caves. But ah Lord, we got to fight with the thoughts in the head, with the dark and the light. No use to stop and stare, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there.
Travelling on a wing and a prayer, by the skin of my teeth, by the breadth of her hair. Travelling where the fall winds blow, with the sun on my face, in the ice and the snow. But ooh, it's a game. Sometimes you're cool, sometimes you're lame. Oh yeah, it's somewhere if you don't know where you're going. Any road will take you there. We pay the price with the spin of the wheel, with the roll of the dice. Ah, yeah, you pay your fare if you don't know where you're going. Any road will take you there. I keep traveling around the bend. There is no beginning, there is no end. It wasn't born and never dies. There are no edges, there is no sides. Ah, yeah, you just don't win. It's so far out, the way out is in. Bow to God and call him sir, but if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. And if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. Oh, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there.
Keith's.
Hello.
Hello, Keith.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I'm fine, fella. Sorry to keep you waiting so long. I was intrigued. That last caller was good, wasn't he?
Don't apologise. After that last caller, that was marvellous. You never know what's going to turn up on your show, do you?
We try, well, in terms of calls, I haven't got a clue, and we try and have music that's perhaps a little bit more exotic than some of the, than you might be expecting to hear at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. But that last caller was brilliant, wasn't he?
I'll tell you what, what I phoned up for has nothing to cocktail.
Look, Keith, you're always a good caller, Keith.
You carry on with that kind of guy and follow it up, and it was wonderful.
We'll get him back
Stories
in.
like that are great.
Oh, I love. But he's worked with Alice Cooper. He's worked with Jeff Lynne. He's worked with the Beatles. He's seen stuff we could only dream of. And here's the thing: all of those people he's talking about are slowly, not so slowly these days, dying off.
Yes, they
that
are,
generation
indeed,
of rock stars, late 60s, early 70s, they won't be around much longer.
No, we tried. I mean, we gradually hear them every week now, or every other week.
Yep.
A star's gone, Yep. And it's a shame. I'll tell you what I phoned up for.
Yes, go on, Keith.
Boring things.
Yeah.
I think the Sun's boring. I could live without the Sun newspaper.
Oh, the Sun newspaper. Yeah, it's I kind of agree with you.
A cockroach across the... Oh, come on. I mean, okay. You might think it's fun, but they talk a lot of rubbish. I mean, I think they do, don't they? I'm sorry, but I don't rate the Sun at all. It's
well, I mean, let's be honest. Most of the newspapers are pretty rubbish.
Aren't they?
But this is a big story. It's the Oscars. I think it's tonight. Are you going to stay up and watch them, Keith?
No, in fact, I'll tell you what as well, Iain. Another one I find boring: the Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh, flip! What is that about?
Forget it. Write it off, because I tell you, at the end of the day, I don't even put the telly on the channel it's on.
It was funny for a few years in the 70s and 80s when you had Terry Wogan on there.
That's right.
And the whole country took it as a joke.
Yeah.
But now it's just dull and it's tedious and we never do very well in it and there are too many countries and it's all the Soviet states voting for each other.
What you say, you are right. But it's now become a political arena. It's not a song contest. It's who likes who. You get all different countries voting for each other, and nobody likes Britain, There you go.
And it's the. I think
we put most of the money.
I think I've got this right. It's the 60th anniversary of the Eurovision Song Contest this year. And it's just, it is, and I've got a feeling, I don't know, how much does it cost the BBC to be involved in that?
An awful lot of money. We stage an awful lot of it, I believe.
Well, the very fact that we send over Ken Bruce and Graham Norton is going to cost more money.
What we all should do, I'm sorry, but what we should do is say, right, we're not funding it anymore. We're going to put the money into other stuff for the Beeb. You know,
if they put me in charge of the BBC, Keith, I could save them a fortune.
telling you.
First thing I'd do is I'd sack my producer, Marky Mark.
Oh, yeah, well, I can't do that.
Why?
No, you wouldn't.
He's all right.
Well, I mean, but I could. That would save us 50 quid a week.
Well, yeah.
So you've gone, Mark. Sorry.
I'm your buffer. I keep you out of trouble.
You were doing some great buffing before the show. Thanks for that, and it is very buffed now.
Ian,
yes.
I'll tell you something seriously, though.
Yeah, go on.
I mean, in all fairness, you've got a situation where I remember, like in the 50s, early 60s.
Yes.
Because I'm 68 now.
You sound older.
And you had Petula Clark, you had people like that.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter whether we won, we come second, but you've got no chance. I mean, look what they did the other year for Engelbert in,
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not knocking Engelbert, but he's got no flipping chance. I mean, it's an arena which is costing an awful lot of money, and I honestly and truly, I mean, they say, well, you've got the choice, don't switch on. I don't switch on.
Mark, Keith, thank you very much indeed. Why did I say Mark? Thank you very much indeed, Keith. 03453 009956. Nick, stay there. I'm going to speak to Steve first. Morning, Steve.
Morning.
What you got for us?
How you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you, Steve.
Good, yeah, well, I just had to call because in 1976 I joined the BBC as a researcher on Pebble Mill at 1.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you shaped my preschool viewing.
What a responsibility.
I know, you're the reason I'm so corrupt, Steve.
Oh, heavens. Well, I'm to blame. And I can tell you the team that existed when I joined, the presenting team, was Johnny McLeod, who sadly he died in 85.
He did pass away, did he? Okay, right.
Bob Langley.
Who's still going strong.
Oh, yeah, and Bob, he was a bit of an out-and-about man. He loved going long walks, climbing mountains, and he once auditioned to play James Bond. Yeah, he did. After George Lazenby quit the role.
He looks a bit...
He went down to Pinewood for an audition, and he didn't get it because he actually accidentally knocked out a stuntman.
Oh,
yeah,
he was too tough. He was too tough for it.
Oh, he was too tough.
He looks a bit like...
Right, and then there's a lady called Marion Foster, who was from Newcastle, and she now does the gardening phone-in on Radio Newcastle, so she's still doing stuff. And then Jan Leeming.
Jan Leeming.
Jan Leeming, who went on to become a newsreader.
Bob Langley looks a little bit like James Coburn, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
That kind of grey, chiselled feature. I tell you what we need, and I think it's criminal, right, that Michael Aspel is not hosting a television show.
Yeah.
I think it's criminal, because he's one of the best presenters this country's ever had, and I think he's 85, but he's still with it. Yeah. What we want is you want Michael Aspel, you want Bob Langley, you want older people doing TV shows.
What a brilliant idea.
Wouldn't that be great?
I think you should put it together as a treatment. It could make millions.
Or it could fall flat on its backside. So how long were you working on Pebble Mill, Steve?
I was there for quite a few years as a researcher, and then I went on to produce the show. And actually, one thing tying up with the Beatles, and we were doing an item, it was on the 5th anniversary of John Lennon's death.
Yeah.
And at the end of the item, the phone went, and the secretary took the call, and she was sort of making signals to me, and she said, "I've got George Harrison on the phone." And I said, "Come on, don't be silly." So she said, "Yeah." So I picked up the phone, and instantly you knew from the tone of his voice, because he had this sort of rather nasal quality about the way he spoke, and it was George. So I just assumed that he was phoning up, and I said, well, about the item we've done on John Lennon. I said, look, I'll get a cassette to you. He said, no, he said, I don't want that. He said, I know everything there is to know about John Lennon. So I want the fact sheet for the gardening item. Because he was a really keen gardener. I said, oh, great, okay, right, fine. He said, forget the cassette. No, don't need to know about him.
I know everything I need to know about John Lennon.
So I said, where do I send it to? He said, just send it to George, Henley-on-Thames, Oxfordshire. It'll get there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. You must. And how long did you work on there for altogether,
I was on
Steve?
the show right till it finished in 1986.
Wow.
And then they had a sort of hiatus where they didn't quite know what to do with the slot. And
Yeah.
they tried a travelling variety show with Tom O'Connor and Pam Armstrong, the newsreader. She had her own chat show, which didn't do that well. And so they sort of snuck it back in again. They called it Daytime Live.
Yes.
And I became the editor of that. And the original team on that was Alan Titchmarsh and Judy Spires and Sue Cook. But after a couple of years, when the bosses weren't watching, we just sort of changed the title back to Pebble Mill, and I became the editor of the show. So
Is it that thing, Steve, that the BBC does so well that something's going really, really well and is really popular, so they decide to completely change it?
Exactly.
Isn't that nuts?
It's crazy because when Pebble Mill was first axed, it was just when they were about to introduce daytime telly throughout the day. Because it used to exist. I mean, there was Watch with Mother and Pebble Mill, and that was it.
Well, this was kids these days don't know that telly switched off at about 3 o'clock for a couple of hours.
That's
it
right.
Switched off.
So they were going to introduce this all-day schedule, and because we assumed that Pebble Mill would be at the heart of it, because it was still very popular and it was getting millions of viewers. But they said, no, we've got to make a change, and that was it. So, and in fact, the last day of the programme, there were demonstrators turned outside. There were about 300 demonstrators with banners saying "Save our Pebble Mill," which you don't often get for a TV programme. So it had a real, core following.
Steve, listen, can I just say, we're getting brilliant people phoning up today. People have actually achieved things with their life. And do you know what, Steve? I hold you responsible for the fact that we've got Jeremy Kyle, Cash in the Attic, and doctors on all the time now.
Well,
you should have fought your corner harder.
Yeah, I've got a lot to answer for.
Steve, listen, that's a brilliant call. Thank you, mate. You're welcome. And he gets a gold pass as well. If Steve calls up, he goes straight to the front of the queue. You don't know this, kids, but daytime television and television through the night didn't happen. It would stop at 3 o'clock in the afternoon for a couple of hours, then start again about 5, and then TV would go off at 11:30 at night for the whole night. Those were the days, weren't they, Nick?
How you doing?
Yeah, Nick, you all right, fella?
Well, I found about something, but seeing as you're on the topic...
Yeah, go on.
Only if you want to listen.
Go on then.
I was in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Sorry?
I was in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
As what? You weren't the Lost Ark, were you?
Do you remember Pat Roach?
I do remember Pat Roach, the wrestler who was also in Our Wiedersehen Pet, yes.
Correct. Well, he's my godfather.
Flipping it! Where are we getting... How come we're getting such good calls? I've been here 18 months. All the calls are rubbish. And we've had 3 crackers this week. He was your godfather. Wow, how cool is that?
My dad used to take him when he was very young to his wrestling matches.
Oh, yeah. So was Pat Roach in that then?
Yeah, well, his head got chopped off fighting Harrison Ford with a propeller.
All right, yeah. Do you know, it's a long time since I've seen that film, but I remember that. So how did you get to be in it?
Well, it came to my dad's garage. My dad used to just look after his cars for him.
Yeah.
And he'd carry this hold all everywhere. And he dropped his car off, and my dad was always fixing him up with a different car to go off in.
Yeah.
And he's standing there with his hold all, and he used to call me Little Nick, and I was about 14 then.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm off filming. Do you want to come? It's a new film.
Oh, man.
And I went, well, yeah. And so off we went, and I was an extra, like a German soldier coming over the
Can
sand
you
dunes.
spot yourself in the film if you watch it on Blu-ray?
You know something? I've never seen the film.
What?
I've never looked. But I was chatting with Harrison Ford, and at 14 in those days, who are you?
Yeah.
And but I did pinch the jacket. There was about 20 jackets, and
the Harrison Ford jacket?
Yeah, and I gave it to a hospice who were very good to my dad.
Yeah.
And said, like, raffle that, and there it's from. And I'd done a letter for the authenticity of it.
Wow.
And I believe they got about 20,000 for it.
Flipping heck. Just think, Nick, you could have had that 20 grand rattling around in your pocket, you sucker.
No. I feel better knowing
well
where
done.
it went.
Good for you. But that's not what you've called in for.
No.
Hey, by the way, very quickly, because I know Pat is no longer with us, but I was thinking the other day, isn't it about time they did another Auf Wiedersehen Pet?
Well, they refused to do it when he died. And
Did they really?
Yeah, I was chatting with Jimmy Nail. I went up to Newcastle a couple of times.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Nail's a great bloke.
I've met Jimmy Nail a couple of times. He's a very nice bloke.
Yeah, and as I say, when he died, they just refused to do another one.
I can understand why, completely, of course. It's a shame, because I'd like to know what that lot are up to. But anyway.
Well, I knew Pat was suffering a few years before he died, and it was kept as big secret, but he had like a cancer behind his eye. And he used to come and stay with us. His young grandson, young Patrick.
Well.
And, you know, we had some good times.
Well, I bet you did. Bless you, Pat Roach, wherever you are now. Nick, what have you called in for?
It was about yesterday, but I found in at 2 minutes to 4 when the show had finished.
Oh,
and
you plum.
It was you mentioned vehicles. Obviously, you haven't bothered today, but
we were supposed. Well, no, we've bothered, but no one's called in. We were asking vehicles that annoy you.
I've got a tune that you'll know.
Yeah.
And probably a few others, but it's not that well known. It's the Ides of March, the band, and it's called Vehicle.
Now, see, I know you've spoken to producer Marky Mark, and I have this song in front of me. I don't know this song.
It's brilliant. Everyone will love it.
Are you sure it's brilliant? Because if I play a rubbish song, Nick...
It's the only one nowadays that perks me up if I feel a bit down.
Has it got any swears in it? Because I played a terribly offensive song on the radio yesterday without realising.
No.
All right.
It's brilliant.
Well, let's. If it's rubbish, I'm coming round to Edgbaston, Nick.
If it doesn't get everyone dancing, I'll make a donation.
There we go. I'm in. Thank you, Nick.
A stranger in the black sedan, won't you hop inside my car? I got pictures, got candy, I'm a lovable man, and I can take you to the nearest star. I'm your vehicle, baby. I'll take you anywhere you wanna go. I'm your vehicle, woman. By now I'm sure you know that I love you, I need you, I want you, got to have your child. Great God in heaven, you know I love you. Hollywood. But if you wanna stay just like you are, you know I think you really should. I'm your vehicle, baby. I'll take you anywhere you wanna go. I'm your vehicle, woman. By now I'm sure you know that I love you, I need you, I want you, got to have your child. Great God in heaven, you know I love you. Oh, you know I do. Inside my car, I got pictures, candy, I'm a lovable man, and I can take you to the nearest star. I'm your vehicle, babe. I'll take you anywhere you wanna go. I'm your vehicle, woman. By now I'm sure you know that I love you, I need you, I want you, I got to have you. Great God in heaven, you know I love you. And I'm your vehicle, babe. I need you, I want you, got to have your child. Great God in heaven, you know I love you.
How is there, give us a horns. There. Yes. Horns. How is there such a great... Isn't it amazing that even at the age of 41, there is still great songs turning up that I've never heard before? I suspect that's probably the last one. I've got a feeling I've heard all the good songs in the world now. 03453 009956. We're entering the last 20 minutes of the show, and it's been noted and noticed that there's always a kind of slowdown in the calls here. We enter a little call funk. This is all right. I've got loads of rubbish to talk about. A song which tells a story is Bobby Goldsborough's Summer. As a pure, innocent 17-year-old, I was so envious of the guy recalling his passage to manhood. Sorry? Wishing it could be me. Jen in Hall Green says, Iain, I also touch Bon Jovi's elbow, John Bon Jovi, and got tackled by a female security guard. And Iain, the Oscars should be renamed the Facelifts. EastEnders, Yapenders. OK, I mean, sure, why not? 03453 009956 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I can't believe... Let's have a recap. Projectile vomiting, pop stars, vehicles that annoy you, although literally nobody's called in about that. I'm getting complaints that we're not doing the vehicle phone-in, so I'm doing it, but no one's calling in about it, so it's not my fault. It's not my fault, David.
Hello.
Good morning, David. What you got for us?
Well, no one seemed to want to talk to you about projectile vomiting either, so I thought I would.
At last, David. This is the call we've been waiting for. What have you got for us?
Well, I was a few years ago up on taking a ferry up in Scotland.
Yeah.
One of these little inter-island ferries. Particularly bad weather that day. Got on the ferry, it's bobbing about, usual sort of stormy weather up there.
Yeah.
And usual thing, go to the bar for a pint.
Of course you do, David. What else would you do on a rocky ferry?
Exactly. So go to the bar for a pint, sat there, everything's rocking around, and table opposite, there's some woman feeding a very delightful baby, just sort of feeding it. Yeah. And she fed the baby, and the baby's smiling, everyone's happy. She's bobbing it around on her knee a little bit, and all of a sudden, it's like a scene out The Exorcist. Yeah. This baby just, full projectile all over her.
And it's insane how that... Because it would go halfway across the room, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't think it went that far, but it did set off a chain reaction then.
Oh, no.
Yep. Yeah, pretty unpleasant ferry bar.
Was it like a domino topple and everybody started vomiting?
That sort of thing.
The scene in Mr. Creosote in The Meaning of Life.
Not far off it.
Ay, stink-y.
Yeah. But also, celebrities rude to you.
Yeah, go
on. George Melly.
What did George Melly, famous art critic and jazz musician, do that was so rude?
Well, I can't say I blame him, but I went to see George Melly used to be a patron of something called the Brecon Jazz Festival.
Yeah.
I was at the Brecon Jazz Festival one year, and George Melly's there, and they're opening up the festival, and the festival organisers do this thing about, and today happens to be George's 70th birthday.
Hey, that's nice.
So everyone's all happy, and everyone sings happy birthday and so on. Anyway, goes off. Roll on a couple of 3 years later, happened to notice George Melly's on at a pub not far from where I lived.
Beautiful.
So I thought, well, go and see George Melly, why not?
Why not?
So went up there to see him, and part way through his set, someone happened to mention it's George's birthday. And they said, it's fantastic because it's George's 70th birthday today. Everyone sings happy birthday and so on. And I thought, that's quite interesting. So at the end of the set, George is in the bar having a drink along with everyone else.
Oh, you're making me laugh. Go on, yes.
So I sidled over to George at the bar and said to him, I very much enjoyed the set. And he says, oh, thank you very much. It's very nice of you. So on. And I said, just one thing I've got to ask you about. I said, I saw you at the Brecon Jazz Festival 2 or 3 years ago. And it was your 70th birthday then as well. And he went, oh, F off. So I was quite proud of that.
Oh, David, thank you. What has happened? Thank you so much. What's happened to you lot? We're getting like proper good calls this week. From people I've never heard before, and people who've actually got stories to tell. Makes me think maybe there is something in having content in a show. I don't know. David, that's brilliant. Thank you so much. Susan's in Yardley. Morning, Susan.
Morning.
What you got for us, my dear?
Right, first of all, I served Stevie Wonder at a restaurant when I was a waitress years ago.
Where was this restaurant and what did he eat?
All the way Ed it was.
Yeah.
Yingwa, there was about 17 of them.
Yeah.
So if ever you do see him, tell him he still owes me money because he didn't pay the full bill.
Stevie Wonder did a run. He did a runner.
Well, I gave him the bill. And, you don't stand over people. And they go up and went.
Well, any restaurant owners, if Wonder comes in, stand over him. Make sure you count it. He'll do the old, I couldn't see the money thing. Don't buy it. No, he's got previous.
I have to put the money in myself.
Yeah.
But the other thing
Hang on a minute, Susan. Sorry.
Go on.
Stevie Wonder didn't pay the full bill, so you had to pay the rest?
Yes.
Multi-millionaire Stevie Wonder did a runner, didn't pay the full bill.
That's the truth, Daddy.
Flipping it. What an utter so-and-so.
Well, I did call a few names after that.
I bet you did.
Because, you don't stand over your customers and you just trusted them because they said, this is Stevie Wonder.
Yes, Stevie
and
No
I'll be
Wonder.
honest, I was only 17 at the time.
Wow. Susan, listen, stay there. I know you've got a story about Pebble Mill as well. I've got to do a little bit of business. I can't believe that. Stevie Wonder doing a runner. Let's get the travel. Here's Liz.
Thanks, Ian. The M42 is still queuing towards Junction 6, the A45, Birmingham Airport and NEC exit. It's traffic heading towards the NEC for an event today going on, caravan and camping event. The M6 going south in the roadworks between 10 and 8, Wolverhampton and Walsall. The M5 interchange looking rather heavy going. There's various works going on around Junction 9 in particular. We're getting reports of an accident on the A38 around the Branson interchange. Police are on the way to the scene. Still problems in Wolverhampton. New Hampton Road West blocked both ways because of a 6-car accident. It's blocked between the A41 Tettenhall Road and Clifford Street. It's congested through Kings Heath on the High Street and along the A435. Better though on the A51 at Longdon. The northbound side towards Rugeley has reopened now, clear of that accident near to Brook End. It's also looking better around Penkridge. That accident reported on Teddersley Road near to Marsh Lane has been sorted out. Still possible delays on trains between Birmingham New Street and Stansted because of a signalling issue at Ely. If you can update us, call BBC WM 95.6 Travel 0330 123 3550.
Ian Lee.
On BBC WM.
95.6. The voice of Birmingham and the Black Country.
So we're speaking to Susan from Yardley. She's had her fingers burnt by a notorious bill not payer, Stevie Wonder. And just to say, the West Midlands, if Stevie Wonder comes into your restaurant, count the money in front of him. He's got previous. Susan, what else you got for us? Oh, no, you're there. Go on, Susan, sorry.
Pebble Mill at 1.
Yes.
About 6 years ago, I was in Cottridge and there was a gentleman there having a sale on his front garden.
Having a what?
A sale, a jumble sale.
Oh, I love it when you get those. They call them yard sales in America. And I don't buy stuff, but it's nice just having a nosy through people's bits and pieces, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I seen this big leopard. It's about 2.5 foot.
Oh, dear.
And he said it came from Pebble Mill at 1. And it used to be on the shelf with on the back of Nick Owen and Ann Diamond. Now, I'm wondering, because he said he was an electrician, you see, and when they closed it all up, he had this big leopard, and I paid, I think it was £4 he wanted for it. And I'm wondering, is it true? Because I used to watch it. But I mean, I'm 66 now, and I'm a bit.
So okay. Well, listen, we've got people who've worked on Pebble Mill listening. We've got people who watch Pebble Mill. Describe the leopard to us, Susan.
As I say, it's about 2.5 feet.
Yes.
It's a big wooden one.
Sounds beautiful.
And it's a bit knocked about, but apart from that,
well, it was the BBC in the 80s.
Yeah, well, as I say, he says to me he was an electrician there.
Yeah.
And he had it. It used to be on the windowsill at the back with Nick Owen and Diamond. So, and I don't think he was telling me porkies, to be honest.
Do you know what? In the back, in a very distant, foggy memory, Susan.
Yeah.
I can see that leopard.
Oh, can you?
But sometimes my mind plays tricks on me because I'm very, very old.
Well, I am.
Listen, we've got 10 minutes of the show, Susan. 03453 009956. Were there leopards on Pebble Mill? And what has Stevie Wonder stolen from you? Oh, dear. Let's have a bit of the divine comedy, shall we? 03453 009956.
Absent friends, here's to them. And happy days we thought that they would never end. Here's to absent friends. Little Jean, Seaburg seemed so full of life, but in those eyes such troubled dreams. Oh, little Jean. Woodbine Willie couldn't rest until he'd given every bloke a final smoke before the killing. Oh, Woodbine Willie. Steve McQueen jumped the first one clean, but the great escape he tried to make was not to be. Maybe next time, Steve. Like a flue through inky blue, to liken near the atmosphere, and liken you, like his life was through. Oh yeah. Oscar Wilde was a lonely child. He fought and won acceptance from the world. They smiled, they laughed, they praised, they drove poor Oscar to his
Oh, man. Sing it, Neil. Sing it. Oh, remind me, on Friday, Pop Stars Called Neil. That's what we're doing. Next Friday's show.
Raise your glasses then to absent friends.
Pop Stars Called Neil. Next week's show, guys. Next week's show, guys. Boom. Marky Mark was telling me something about the roads, but I'll be honest, I wasn't really listening. What's happened on the roads? There's been a horse incident.
Oh, horse box has lost 2 wheels.
Hey.
M5, M42 junction reports of chaos.
Chaos. Thank you very much indeed. Last 8 minutes, 03453 009956. Marmy Barmy. Huh? I don't get people... Marky Mark, we've already discovered your taste in music is appalling.
Mm.
We're going to try a little test now. Marmite.
Love.
Okay. You've gone up in my estimation ever so slightly. Fussy Eater John survives on tubs of Marmite. A man who hates food... What? A man who hates food believes Marmite saved his life because it is one of just 10 things he will eat. What are the other 9? Let's find out. John Pearson, 48, says the yeast-based spread contains all the vitamins he needs to stay alive. Do you know what? That might be true. I don't know what's in Marmite. There's yeast and brown. That's probably about it, isn't it? And bitter. Yeast, brown and bitter are all contained within Marmite. He eats only chips, plain crisps. For breakfast this morning, I had half a tub of Pringles. I found a tub of Pringles in my bag, and I thought, hey, bit rude not to. What else does he eat? Cereal, chocolate cake, soft cheese. These are things primarily beginning with C. Yorkshire pudding, nuts, yeah, he is, bread, butter and Marmite. Every week, Engineer John, who is a fruitcake, eats at least one 250-gram jar of the spread, which is full of B vitamins, folic acid, bitter and brown, and yeast. Oh, I was right. That's right on that bit. He said Marmite has probably been my life-saver. To be perfectly honest, I hate food. I don't eat for pleasure. I eat because I'm hungry. I eat to stay alive. That's it. That's your lot, kids. Thank you for listening. Back next Friday. Thank you, Marky Mark, for your work. Back next Friday at 2 till 4, where we'll be playing Pop Stars Called Neil. I don't quite know what the rules will be, but I've got a week to think about it. If you want to get in touch during the week, you're more than welcome to. Iain.lee, IAIN.LEE at bbc.co.uk. I'll shut up now, because now it's Richie's turn. From me, ta-ta.
voice of Birmingham and the Black Country.
BBC WM 95.6.
Iain Lee, thank you. On the way then next, it's early kick-off with me.